Alrighty. Well, hi, my name's Donna Decay, and I'm a dietitian and a diabetes educator, and I was asked to come and talk today about holiday eating and how we can prevent those unwanted pounds that we usually roll on during the holiday period. We're just coming into the holidays now, and we've all been there, right? Most of the functions that we go to, most of the celebrations that we're involved in revolve around what? Food, glorious food, yeah. So it makes it really difficult because it's not like we want to step out of all these situations and not eat and not participate. So how do we do that without hitting January and stepping on the scale and getting those unwanted pounds? The average person gains anywhere between 2 and 7 pounds during the holiday period. It's not difficult, is it? A little bit more here, a little bit of extra celebration there, and all of a sudden it rolls on. So that's kind of what I'd like to discuss today, is how can we do this healthfully? If we're trying to improve our health, if we're trying to improve our diet, how can we make it through this really challenging period without gaining weight or losing the resolution that we go into the holidays with right from the start? So this is nowhere close to anything that you'd want to substitute for going to your doctor. Of course, going to your doctor and getting your labs done is a great wake-up call, and I encourage everybody to keep on top of their appointments with their physician. One of the first things I talk about during the holidays is don't lose your exercise. So often we're so busy, right? What are some of the extra things that we're thinking that we have to do on top of our already busy schedule? Shopping, okay, so we're going to the mall, and of course there's so many nutritious choices at the mall, right? So we're all a little bit more stressed than normal. Stress can cause people to do what? Eat, because it's somewhat of a comfort to eat when you're stressed, at least for that millisecond while you're eating. And we have all this other things, all these other responsibilities. So one of the first things to go is our exercise routine, if we have one. If you don't have one, now is a really great time to start one. Now, why with everything else you have to do would I say now is the time to start an exercise program? Because now it's better than never. We know that it's a challenging time. Stress can be relieved by exercise. It can help stave off those unwanted pounds. So make a point to plan time for exercise. Most people, 75% of people that actually exercises on a regular basis does it before their day starts. It's so impossible. Our intentions are so good. It's the end of the day. We're going to come home and put those tennies on and go out for a walk. And what happens when we come home? Life. We're fried. We have to get something for dinner. We're tired. We don't have the enthusiasm. So if you're an all-in-morning person, most of the physicians that I work with say that to change our blood chemistry, it only takes 21 minutes a day. So you don't have to go to the gym and work out 2 hours, but put those tennis shoes on and just 21 minutes a day, get your heart rate up. Exercise relieves stress. Holidays are stressful even though they're so much fun, and it helps prevent weight gain. A moderate amount of daily exercise is the key. And if you do that, sometimes when you're hitting that big buffet of 18 different kinds of holiday cookies that you're exchanging, you might be just thinking, wow, I'm really feeling good about my exercise. Do I really want to have to walk that much more to burn off this cookie? So 10 to 15 minute walks, don't underestimate the value of exercise. 2 10-minute walks in the day. If you don't have 21 minutes in the morning, then do two 10-minute walks, one at the beginning of the day, and bookend your day with some healthy activity. Meal spacing is also important because when we're really busy, we have a tendency to do what? Skip a meal, overeat the next one. So meal spacing is doing some planning as you're going out the door. don't skip meals. There's enough research that indicates if we skip meals, we more than make up those calories on our next meal. Don't go to a party hungry. It's like going to the grocery store hungry. Have you ever done that where you had a list and you were going to buy really healthy fruits and vegetables and you're really hungry and all of a sudden those end caps there are for a reason. They've got high produced, marketed, and usually manufactured foods to catch our eye. So like going to the grocery store, don't go to a party hungry. Take the edge off. What would be a good snack before you went to a party? Or you really didn't fill up, but you're not walking in starving. Any ideas?
Fruit.
A piece of fruit, an apple, some carrots, a small handful of raw unsalted almonds. All of that will just make you go to that party with a little bit more self-control. So eating a piece of fruit, some nuts, all of those things will help curb your appetite. And you'll be less tempted to overeat. Water, water, water. Why is water so important during the holidays? It's important all the time, but what makes it important during the holidays? Any ideas? We're so busy, we're probably drinking less water. We're out and around, we're busy shopping, we're busy running errands. We're not thinking of taking water with us. And often I find that people are actually thirsty when they instead think they're hungry. So make sure you stay hydrated, and make sure that you're having to go to the bathroom frequently, which would indicate that you're hydrated. If you're of adult age and you choose to drink alcoholic drinks, be aware that that kind of lessens your resolve. You go into the party thinking, I'm only going to choose some fruits and vegetables and one of my favorite things, and all of a sudden, after a glass of wine, all of that other gooey, cheesy, coated, fried foods start looking a little bit better. If you choose to drink alcohol, make sure you drink enough water in between each drink. Alcohol calories are very compact calories. They're closer to the caloric level in fat than they are carbohydrate and protein. So think of it as drinking oil calorically. Planning is a key to being successful during the holidays. Check out the food on the table before you start taking it. Do a pass by, because you know how you go to these holiday buffets or you go to places and you start at one end and you think, well, I'm going to choose this healthy stuff down at this end and I'll just get it when I get there. But by the time you get there, your plate's full of all the chips and bacon-covered hot dog little Franks and things like that. So actually sweep by on the outside and make a plan about what you really want. Make conscious choices to avoid high-fat foods. High-fat foods are very plentiful during the holidays. And when I talk to people, they tell me that, well, I don't eat cheesy covered this and that, or I don't eat fried foods, except during the holidays. It seems to be an okay thing. It's like the calories don't count that we eat during the holidays. So foods that are high in fat are things like cheese and processed meats, anything that's fried, anything that is covered with a gravy or a cheese sauce would be really high in fat. And we want to limit those types of fat that aren't heart healthy. If you're going to choose foods that are higher in fat, it's better to choose them from things like raw unsalted nuts or olives or olive oil, things that won't have saturated fat and raise our cholesterol. Make sure you include a lot of vegetables on your plate and fruit, because we know that those are the foods that are high in fiber. Foods that are high in fiber are actually the foods that fill us up. So often people think it's the meat, or it's the rice, or it's the bread, or it's the pasta that fills us up. But when we look at studies of what keeps food in our stomach and stays there longer, it's fiber. So the highest fiber is in our vegetables and fresh fruits, and then any food that's a whole grain. So when you choose whole grain over the white counterparts, it's going to stay in your stomach longer. It takes longer for your stomach to digest and move it along, and that's a good thing because that's what's mentally sending the cue to your brain that you've eaten and you're satisfied. Be selective. So when you're being selective, keep fiber in mind. I've seen people do really great work with their diets by not doing anything else but investigating how can I increase the fiber in my diet. Choose your favorite foods and skip your least favorite. So when you're walking down or choosing foods off a buffet or choosing foods off the table, don't take some of everything if everything is not what you really like. I had one client that did a beautiful job, and I think this is a great analogy. She said, I always picture my plate like the Hawaiian Islands. I have little mounds on my plate, but there's oceans in between. That's going to calorically add up, no matter what you choose, to a lot less than when you have a plate that's just mounded with food, right? Which is tempting to do when there's so much good food that we've avoided it. So really figure out what you want and how much of it you would need to be satisfied. Often a small bite of something is really all that you want. And so you can share desserts or share it or just take a taste. Don't worry about not eating it all.